Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Trade Ideas live trading room recap for Tuesday, January the 29th. My name is Barry Anderson, moderator of your trading room. Any questions for me, you can use this email address. This is a link to get into our 100% free trading room. You do not have to be a member of Trade Ideas to be in our trading room. I open the room at 9 o'clock. That's when I start to share my screen. I get live on the mic at about 9:05. I go up to 3:30 Mondays to Thursdays and up to 3 o'clock on Fridays. There is a subscription link, and you'll also see in the body of this email, you'll see a link for our test drive, which again starts next Monday, February the 4th, runs February the 4th to February the 8th. That is 5 trading days. So if you click on that link now, basically you are pre-subscribing, pre-registering, and it'll cost you $8.88, and you'll have access to our full premium service just as if you were a premium subscriber. And you'll probably have access to the program, excuse me, maybe 1 to 2 hours after the market closes on Friday, and then you can play around with it on the weekend. So now today, kind of an interesting day for me in that so far I've had 4 trades and all have been losers. Now, one of the things you'll know about me is that I usually keep my losses very, very tight. I try not to let my ego get in the way. Think, I've got to be right, and all of that. So this is the first one that I took, and let me explain my thinking on this one. There is a TRVN. Now, you have to get a full understanding of this one, you have to take a look at the daily chart. And you see what it did yesterday. I mean, it had just a tremendous day. I actually saw this one in the pre-market, but I kind of discounted it. It was, well below the whole number. But my goodness, once it took out that whole number, it closed yesterday at 119. So the interesting thing then for me was right there is the 200-day moving average. I think that's at 135 right there, okay? So I said, well, if it can take out the 200-day moving average, and by the way, if you look left, there's really, there's no resistance really. I mean, there's a little spike up there, which is kind of where it got to, okay? But really, I mean, that's the sort of daily chart that you just love to see. So with that in mind, look at the 15-minute chart. So remember, 135 was the 200-day, so I got into this one right around 140. It did pop up. I thought, all right, we're on our way. And then it moved down, and I said, if it takes out that 200-day, I'm going to get out of it. And that's basically what I did. So small little loss, and then look what it did afterwards. Now, granted, it is trying to come back a little bit, but this could have just absolutely just collapsed all the way under $1. And, instead of having a nice little manageable loss, it would have been a lot worse. So, again, that's how I trade anyway. And I don't can always get back in it. I said to myself, well, it gets back up to this level here later on in the day, I could probably get back in it. Now, the other one was a Holly alert. And let me just find it for you, and I'll explain my thinking on this one. Where are you? There you are, INSEE. So there's the Holly alert at, I think it was 3:59, okay? Excuse me. So there it was right there on that candle. So I watched this one, and this is a little cannabis play, all right? So look what Cron was doing. And at the beginning of the day, you see how these rings were just whipping up here. I think the cannabis index was doing the same thing. It wasn't whipping up, but it was, there was the pre-market activity. This is the ETF for the cannabis sector. So it was moving up, but then it started to move down. Now look at that candle, and remember what Cron was doing. See that candle there? So what time is this? This is 10:30. So let's take a look again at INSEE. So as this was happening, I thought, well, okay, what's going to happen here? I mean, this is still kind of maintaining. It really wasn't moving with the rest of the sector. But I was not worried, but it was giving me pause to think, well, is it eventually just going to give up with the rest of the sector? So that's basically why I got out of it. I mean, it has come back a little bit, but and it didn't drop nearly like the Cron. This is not quite as dramatic. But you could already tell, for whatever reason, the sector was just weakening. So, when the sector was popping, this is what it was doing. So anyway, again, another just small little manageable loss, no big deal. And really, it was all a matter of my keeping an eagle eye on the sector. And the minute this candle started forming, I said, you know what? I can always get back in, but just in case it really wants to collapse, I don't want to be around if it does. So that now the other yeah, that's about it. I had a couple other small losses, but those days happen. But I always try to keep the losses very manageable. I do not ever disobey my stop, and sometimes I will get out ahead of my stop if I don't like the way it's trading. So I have days like this every now and then. So as somebody asked me the other day, do you ever have a losing day? Well, so far it's a losing day. So let me just bring back the capture program. Here it is. So if you have any questions for me, please use this email address. But if you are in the room, I had a question from somebody who is in the room from time to time, and they asked me something about a symbol list. And a lot easier for me to demonstrate it in the room, how to create a symbol list. Way easier. So if you have questions for me, please ask them, if you can make it in the room. If you can't, fine. You can always ask me, use this email. I'll open the room tomorrow at around 9 o'clock Eastern Time. And don't forget, sign up for the test drive. We do it 4 times a year. And basically, well, not basically, it gives you, just as if you're a premium subscriber, it give you access to our premium service, live, the whole bit. So please sign up for the test drive if you're at all interested in seeing what Trade Ideas is all about. All right, so hope to see you in our trading room tomorrow. I'll open the room tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Bye-bye.